It all went in this way. Now it's all getting undone by itself. It wasn't me that done it. It's not me that has to undo it. It has always been happening by itself. Hello, Ghana. Very nice to be with you.
Yeah.
And thank you for answering my invitation. So we can sit here today and see what arises. And with that, let's take a few deeper breaths. Get ready, get comfortable. And let's acknowledge that this is a safe place. Everything is welcome. And whatever is ready to come up, may come up.
I'm feeling some nervousness, kind of uncertain quality of like self-doubt or fear of confusion and fear of like not knowing what's going on or how even to express it.
And where do you feel that energy of this nervousness in your body? Like, where would you say this?
There's certainly this core that's contracted and tight. And then the nervousness is like this light pressure kind of coming on my upper body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, can you tell that energy, whatever is here, whatever is present, say, I see you. I acknowledge you. You are here. And you can be here. You are fully allowed. You're welcome. Yes, it can be here. Whatever is going on, whatever is arising is okay. It's safe. And what are you noticing about that energy as it is allowed and welcomed?
The energy is still there, but the stories around it are quieter or not as intense. And the energy softened a bit. It's still there, but it feels more comfortable.
Oh, great. Okay. And as you're looking at that energy, say, and what are you looking for? What do you want the most? This open curiosity. What is this energy looking for? You can ask it and wait for it to reply.
The energy wants to be free of shame and at peace.
Mm.
I feel some emotion welling up behind my eyes like tears.
I'll say to it, thank you so much. I agree. I agree. You're valid and you're welcome. And let's invite it to self-adjust, self-transform, self-harmonize, realign, to come back to its natural state, natural form, so that it feels the most comfortable. Full permission for it to do what it needs to do to be and feel the most comfortable. And just feel.
It's continuing to soften little by little and kind of like turn over itself in my core. And I'd like to do some shaking too, if I feel my body. Is that okay?
Sure, yes, whatever wants to happen. It's like, okay, you're free to do what you need to do. Like setting this energy free. No more limitations, restrictions, rules, or regulations. It's already free.
Ilona contraction.
Where is it?
Here below my chest.
Aha. Okay. Let's welcome it. Now here you are. I see you. I acknowledge you. You're welcome here. Oh, what an interesting energy. And can you check it? Has it got a message for you? Some information? The contraction. Is there anything it wants to tell you or let you know?
It's saying, I want to be free from shame. I want to stop fighting life, and I want to be at peace.
Wow, that's beautiful. I'll say, I agree.
Great.
I agree. Ask it, are you ready to be free of shame and embrace life?
There's not an answer to that question, really. Maybe some hesitancy or just very quiet.
Okay, let's ask it, is anything in the way of freedom?
At first, it said no, And then after some quiet, it said, and then more quiet.
Okay, ask it to look and see, is that true? Just checking, double checking. Is it true? Is that obstruction true?
It's clear that there's no me that's obstructing freedom. There is this lingering doubt that says, but all these thoughts that are so constant, creating this idea of a self. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, there are thoughts. They are empty. There are thoughts. Sure, they come up. They say stuff. And there's freedom to see them, to recognize them, to acknowledge them as they come and go. Like you are here seeing those thoughts. They are not in a way of being. They are not in a way of freedom. Like you see colors. There's nothing to do about them. You hear the inner voice talking, saying stuff. There is nothing to do about it. So freedom is not from anything. Freedom is already here to experience everything as it is. It's already here. It's freedom to feel what you feel. And everything arises, stays, and goes by itself. Including shame. So let's look at this. Is it okay to feel shame? Can the shame be included in this experience?
Two instances came up recently around shame. One was I expressed some shame to a friend, and they basically said you shouldn't feel ashamed about that. And that was annoying. And then a while back, I expressed something vulnerable and I felt shamed from someone I care about. And that really hurt. I can still feel that. Those two situations arose.
Well, it's okay to feel shame. And it has its value and its place. So let's invite the shame here and just give it some space and some attention. Saying that, yes, you are valid. You can be here. You're welcome to show up. And notice it is safe to feel it. You don't need to run away or turn away from it. It's safe to feel it. And it may have a message for you. So can you check if there is a message for you?
There wasn't a clear message, just a lot of bouncing thoughts around.
Well, shame is very useful when you did something that you're not proud of, let's say this, and then you know that, and you don't want to do it again. It's how we learn. It's part of learning. So it has its place. People that don't feel shame for what they did they can't really take responsibility for their actions. But you know, something happened. That happened, yes, I know that happened. I learned from that, I move on. I know what not to do next time. That's it. Like it's acknowledged. Move on. Let's not do that again. Let's do something else. Like we don't need to carry that in a pocket and have it every day with us because something happened that wasn't actually any possibility to do anything else in that situation. That's how it happened. That's how it played out and showed up. But now there is no way. Like this doesn't work. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel good. There's another way. So that way, in that way, shame is functional. It's beautiful. And can you see that it has its function and it can be useful. And it's not what you are. It's just a reaction that arises to what happened. And then a response in a knowing. But it's just a signal, let's not do this again. That's it.
I can see it. It has its place. I can feel that. And my experience with it right now is it's like there's this feeling that something's wrong.
With what?
Me.
With you.
The one thing that comes to mind is this fixation pattern I've had on a person, a woman. And it's just this very unpleasant struggle with all these ideas and fixation. And the shame is something that comes in and says, like, this is wrong. Why are you doing this? Or why is this happening? And even more fundamental than that, there's just this contraction in my core that seems, any story, whether it's this person or anything else, it's like it all starts there as like just the energy or sensation there. And then there's this thought around that, which is like, will this ever go away? Why is it here? Am I working with it in the right way? Feels like it's not doing anything. And it's this, whatever story it creates is so strong and creates suffering. There's something wrong with that process.
Well, to start with, the question why is the worst question to ask here. It's the worst question to ask. Because it will give you all kinds of stories, explanations, rationalize about it. It's useless. Another thing is any even slightest wish or intention to get rid of that energy or that feeling is keeping it stuck. So, okay, it's here. Can it be allowed? That's the other way, looking at it differently. It can be allowed. That's how it works. See, the feelings come up to be felt. Emotions come up to be felt. The energy wants to express, to be felt. It doesn't want to be explained or denied. It wants to be felt. Like when you shared with your friend that you are feeling shame, and you said, oh, you shouldn't feel about this. You shouldn't feel shame about this. That's denial, not acknowledgement, not allowing, not recognizing what is already here. So you don't need to do that to your own feelings. You can say, okay, there you are. You're allowed. And what do you notice if you allow it? If you allow that energy, that core contraction? What happens when you allow it?
It doesn't seem to be such an issue. The thoughts want to continue to come in and say, like, oh, but I've done this for so long, or some thought that, like a hopeless thought or just an uncertain thought wants to come in and reframe it as an issue. But when I just stick with allowing it, it doesn't feel like an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when it's not an issue, then it can stay as long as it wants and go whenever it's ready. So this feeling is not here to be fixed or got rid of. Quite the opposite. It's here to be included and allowed. And even more, it's here to be honored by your attention So just for a little bit, let's honor that sensation, honor that contraction. It's just doing it best it can. It's doing its job. It's a natural response to what's happening. And when you see it just as an energy that is here, wanting to pass through, wanting to open up, it is very welcome to be here, very welcome to come up.
It's feeling relaxed right now.
Okay, just for testing, think some thoughts that would bring it up normally.
It's activated, but it's more like sensation rather than emotion. Right now.
And is it okay to feel it? So the freedom is already here. The freedom to feel it all as it is. And it comes in waves. There's a wave coming in of the feeling or stories. And then it seems to go away and then comes back again and goes away, comes back again and goes away. There's nothing wrong with that. It's more like abandoning the position of somebody that has to fix the feelings and stepping into the position that, okay, they're here, I can see them, I can feel them. All is well. And the image or metaphor would be that if you're standing by a lake and the lake is flat, it's very calm. You take a big stone and drop into the lake. And there are ripples. And you just watch the ripples going out. They're just doing their rippling. They're doing rippling job. Like a wave passing through. You don't need to do anything to that ripple. It ripples itself out. And there may be several waves with that ripple. So you don't need to contain it, fight it, deny it, or run away from it. It's here. The stone was strong. Energy was disturbed. Calm was disturbed. So the wave is going. And it will complete itself. Like you are here, seeing it all. And some people have a bigger impact on our calm, make bigger waves. It takes a longer time for the ripples to play out.
Things feel calm and at ease right now.
Sweet.
What'd you say?
I say sweet.
there is a kind of a nagging confusion and doubt in the background right now. That's like confused about how the illusion of I or me can be seen through, and then to be like totally in the thick of it in these emotions with such a sense of agency and control and needing to fix. Just like not being able to see it in the moment when these things are so strong.
Yeah. So it gets undone little by little. Like it was all done, learned, conditioned, patterned, crystallized. Now it's time to get everything undone. And that seeing no self, that there is no me as an entity in charge, only means that everything is happening by itself. By itself. That's not your making, not your doing. It all went in this way, now it's all getting undone by itself. It wasn't me that done it. It's not me that has to undo it. It has always been happening by itself. Like weather. So it's not me responsible for all these emotions. The emotions arise and they continue to arise. It's nobody's doing emotions, making them happen. You know when emotion is here because you feel it, it's here. And that me is a cartoon in the mind, like a cartoon image in the mind that overlays the experience. It says, I've done it. It's me. It's my fault. I'm bad. I should be ashamed. But it's just a narrative that brings the me in it. It's not the me that brings in the narrative. It's a narrative that brings me in it. Because the narrative is about me. So how can this me do anything? It's just a story about it. That is happening by itself. Until it doesn't. And seeing that everything is happening by itself helps to meet all that arises, because it's not me. It's just something that I see, that I experience, but it's not me, it's not even mine. It's been created, I can make it go away, it can be allowed. So you see things happening, events happen, situations happen, growing happens, learning happens, everything's happening. But then everything is pinpoint on that me, all right? I did this. But it's the whole totality that came together for that moment to express the way it expresses. Like right here, right now. So many things came together in this moment, so that we are talking right here, right now.
The sense of trust in this unwinding or process, it wavers. And it's like there's such a clarity to it of what's like just a perception and then a filter. It's so clear in some way. And then on the other hand, it's just like so evasive and perpetual. And in that sense, a very mild, overwhelming feeling right now.
And you are seeing, you're experiencing it, how it unwinds and does itself. And that's how it looks. Like being drawn into the stories, experiencing intense emotions, being with them, seeing them. That's how it unwinds. That's how it looks. So everything that was built on that idea of me being in charge or the manager of life has to dismantle. And it's already on the way. There's no way to go back. But that process of undoing, unlearning, unconditioning is exactly how it looks. That's it. And sometimes it does look ugly and terrifying and horrible and intense. And all the crap can come into the surface. But that's how it looks. So you can't do it wrong. I mean, this undoing, you can't do it wrong. It's already happened. It doesn't matter you trust it or not. It helps if you trust, but it's already happening anyway.
And then comes the fear that says, well, what if the process isn't even happening and it's all just an idea? It's the story.
That's a funny thought. That's a funny thought. Like, what if? What if?
I think that's part of what's unsettling here is that there's some kind of recognition that knowing something isn't really real, or I don't know how to say it, just nothing can really be known or something.
Okay, we have to draw a line here. What is knowing and what is knowledge or information? Knowing and knowledge is not the same. There's knowing. That is self-evident. You know of this experience, you know of these words, you know of the sounds, you know of the cards. There is knowing. In other words, there is being aware of what is going on presently now. That's knowing. And knowledge is some information that you may pick up from somebody else. So in that knowledge, no, there's no truth in that. But there's knowing of the truth of the moment, the living truth of the moment, right here, right now. That you can trust. You know what's going on.
I think the part that is tripping is then in that experience of knowing, a thought comes and tries to make it into knowledge. And then it's recognized, well, that's just like a thought.
Okay, there is a function of the mind, let's say that. There is a function of labeling and describing and recognizing and putting everything in a verbal expression. Fine. The knowledge would be something that you learned. Somebody said, oh, this, or how it should be. But you know, like if you see the light, you know, you see the light. You don't need any knowledge. And then you can go, oh, maybe it's photons or atoms, blah, blah. That's knowledge. But you see what you see, and you know what you see. Same with the inner feelings and emotions and story. You know your experience what is here right now. That word knowing is just another word for being aware. Oh, what is here right now? So yes, you know what is here right now. And you don't need knowledge to know what is here right now. And you don't even need to label it, but that's what mind does. It sees things, it labels. Okay, and there may be fear or unease with not knowing. But that's about future, not knowing what will be, what will happen, what will arise next. That we don't know. We know what is here right now. And when something next arises, we'll know that.
Thank you, Ilona.
Thank you. It's great to be with you. It's so quiet in my head.
Yeah, I feel a very warm and loving energy. Thank you. I'll see how things unfold from a week or two and reach back out.
Sure.
All right.